In this video, I'm going to talk about the number one supplement for fat loss and muscle gain. So if you guys don't know me by now, my name's Adam Bunnell. I've worked with dozens of guys in the past. I specialize in hormonal priming, body recomposition, higher level forms of nutrition and metabolism and manipulation. And I've quite literally helped dozens of guys get to the leanest body fat percentage they've ever been using higher level forms of nutrition and metabolism manipulation called metabolic priming. There's going to be tons of resources and video pinned in the description of this video. More about me, more about metabolic priming, and my entire metabolic priming masterclass is also going to be linked below as well. But the purpose of the video is to shine light on the number one best supplement for fat loss and muscle gain. And what is it? Sleep. So before you guys click out of this video real quick, I want to explain the science behind sleep, why sleep is so important, and how specifically it helps with fat loss and helps with muscle gain. Scientifically, sleep regulates a ton of different hormone levels, a ton of different hormones, more specifically one of the most important being cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. So increased levels of cortisol in the body will prohibit you from losing body fat, will also prohibit you from gaining muscle tissue. More specifically, will degrade muscle tissue. So clients that have came to me in the past who have been doing tons of cardio, eating low amounts of calories, have induced a bunch of inflammation-based cortisol on their body, which no longer allows their body to lose body fat, but more specifically makes their body lose muscle tissue, which puts you in the skinny fat, gross looking phase. So why sleep is so important is sleep regulates cortisol levels specifically. Your body quite literally perceives being tired as being stressed, which poor amounts of sleep leads to a higher levels of cortisol in the body. Because if the body perceives you as being stressed and being tired, it'll start to produce more cortisol. You'll start to feel more hungry, and you'll actually start to gain more body fat. So scientifically in the body, if the body thinks that it's stressed or think it's very tired in a sense where it needs to produce more cortisol, you'll start to put off body fat in the sense of you actually being in a detrimental state to where the body thinks maybe it's starving, because the body in general is an organism that if it thinks that it's starving and thinks it's super stressed and it starts producing a bunch of cortisol, it'll think that it is in basically oh shit mode, right? And it'll start put off body fat in the form of energy to supply you from energy later on. So even if your macros are absolutely perfect, you're hitting all your protein, carbs, and fats correctly, if you're producing too much stress and too much cortisol, it'll lead to a negative body recomposition. Because cortisol in general has a negative effect on thyroid, which is your metabolism, which your metabolism is how your body burns food at rest. So poor amounts of sleep, higher amounts of cortisol, if the body thinks it's tired and starts to put off body fat in the aspect of it thinking that it's in like oh shit mode, we need to start putting off body fat and save energy, your entire hormone profile can absolutely change. Being thyroid metabolism, how much your body burns at rest, and your body will actually start to save energy in the form of putting off more body fat. Because calories burned with your metabolism is not a set number. Your metabolism changes every single day based upon your hormone profile. So if you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep, your body's going to produce more cortisol, going to need to be producing more energy, which is going to store off more body fat, which will in turn lower your metabolism and lower your body's ability to burn more food at rest. So two hormones specifically that affect your hunger in this sense is leptin and ghrelin. So if you're extremely stressed or extremely tired in a sense that your body putting off a bunch of cortisol, you will start to feel more hungry, right? Quite literally because leptin in general is the hormone in your body that tells your brain that you're satisfied. So there's been studies that show that poor amounts of sleep can lead to an 18% decrease in leptin, which means an 18% decrease in your body's actual hormone response to feeling satisfied. And there's also an increase in ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, which tells your body that, hey, we're hungry, we need more food. And that is because with higher levels of cortisol, with higher levels of stress in the body, your body thinks that it needs more energy to put off more energy in the form of body fat to help with yourself going through a stressful environment. So how do we specifically fix this, right? So each one of my clients' plans, I have them sleeping at least 8 hours, making sure that they're getting good sleep, good adequate amount of sleep to reduce cortisol levels, to reduce inflammation in the body, and increase your body's natural ability to produce hormones as of thyroid, testosterone, leptin, and ghrelin to keep hunger at bay, but to also feel satisfied, to actually put off inflammation in the form of your training, because cortisol levels in general with your training specifically will lead to you not being able to gain muscle tissue, because cortisol prevents the body from actually gaining muscle tissue, which cortisol is one of the most important hormones in the body for losing body fat and building muscle. So what I specialize in specifically with my clients is hormonal priming body recomposition. So you can see how cortisol levels in the body are one of the most important aspects that we mitigate to make sure that they are seeing the most amount of progress. So even clients who maybe aren't getting an adequate amount of sleep or an adequate amount of rest being in between cardio sessions or weight training sessions, and we need to make sure we mitigate cortisol levels as well, because cortisol levels actually are induced with your training, which is good. Like, cortisol levels are good in the body for regulating blood sugar, but they're also bad if you're not reducing cortisol levels before your next training session in the form of actually getting good recovery. So specifically with some of my clients who maybe are getting stuck at a certain weight for a while, what we do is we reduce training volume, we reduce any cardio, and actually let the body rest. In a lot of cases, actually scientifically, which is absolutely nuts, they actually start to lose weight because we start to reduce cortisol levels in the body and induce a little bit more of actual recovery. So if you're somebody who is doing a tons of cardio, you're under 2,000 calories and you're just stuck, and you've just stuck in the skinny fat phase, and your stomach is bloated, you got tons of inflammation, because inflammation can occur in the aspect of actually having like a bloated stomach. And it also increases the chance of having indigestion, because cortisol levels and stress levels affect digestion. So when you break down the BMR, metabolism in general, BMR is 60% of your entire metabolism. How you breathing, blood flow, sleep, organ function. So if your body does not think that it can supply those specific qualities of actual essential body needs, then it'll start to downregulate the metabolism. So if you're eating under 2,000 calories and doing tons of cardio, try sticking away from a little bit of cardio for a while and try increasing a little bit of actual food in the form of carbohydrates, right? So carbohydrates specifically affect leptin levels, the satiety mechanism in your body. So if you are stuck under 2,000 calories and you're struggling to get lean, and you got an inflamed gut, and you feel like that you just caught in the skinny fat phase and your strength's rapidly decreasing, and then also you have brain fog and other symptoms of a low metabolism, one, you need to put into context your cortisol levels, the inflammation in your body, the stress hormone in your body, because if all of those are not aligned, you will not be able to get lean, you will not be able to lose more body fat, you will not be able to gain more muscle. So I hope this video specifically opened your eyes to the importance of sleep, the number one fat loss supplement in today's society, which most people don't talk about. Most people don't talk about how important sleep actually is in reducing body fat and getting to the leanest body fat percentage they've ever been. And there are certain tactics that you can use to reduce cortisol levels with increasing food by decreasing inflammation. And each one of these I use in my clients' plans specifically if they hit a roadblock where I think they're reducing too much cortisol. But the best supplement you can do to reduce cortisol levels, to increase muscle tissue, and to reduce body fat in general is just simple sleep. So I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.